thank you everybody for joining us today. My name is Ruth Harper. I work for Workplus. With me today is Lucy and Andrew from Workplus. We are going to be taking you through today's session. I am just going to go through a few of the main program details, and then Lucy is going to take over and she's going to talk more about the technical side of things in terms of the application form. Just so there's no confusion, if you maybe think, oh, I'm maybe on the wrong webinar, who's Workplus? I thought this was about Music Matters. Music Matters is a programme that is funded by Belfast City Council, and it's in connection with the City of Music. Workplus is simply facilitating the programme. So you will see our logo on the platform that you're using to create the applications. You will also, if you use the chat function, quite often that will be Andrew or Lucy from the Workplus team that is there to guide you through that. And you may even, if you go on and want to email Workplus, because I am coordinating the Work Music Matters program, you may end up, I know some of you have already contacted me through the program as well for some help. So that is who Workplus are. We are the facilitators of the Music Matters internship program, and we are delighted to be working alongside Belfast City Council and the team of Belfast City of Music as well. So hopefully, I'm sure you've all been on the Music Matters landing page. I'm sure that's why you've joined us today, or maybe you've seen the advert on social media. I'm just going to talk very, very briefly about the programme and the dates, and then I'm going to hand over to Lucy. So as I'm sure you're aware, applications are now open. You are here at the Application Help Clinic, and it's great that you're here to get some professional advice on how to really make the most of your application. Applications close on the 20th of December, and it's really, really important that you submit your applications by the deadline, because applications will not be accepted after the deadline. So that's a very, very important date. Shortlisting and interviews will then happen on the 6th of January, so the employers and yourself can relax over Christmas. The shortlisting window opens on the 6th of January. That tends to be about a week, and then interviews will happen after that shortlisting week. So you can expect to be invited for interview anywhere between the 6th of January and the 24th of January. Some employers may run past this timeline just if they have quite a lot of work on, or maybe people aren't available for interview until after this date. But we have tried as much as possible to ask employers to have their interviews completed by the 24th of January. And then offers will be made from the 27th of January on. And as I said, if interviews may run slightly past that, but we have asked employers to try to keep to that timeline as much as possible. And then the internship will start anywhere between, it says the 31st of March, anywhere between sort of the 1st of February, and the deadline really for the internship to start is the 31st of March. So between February and March. I'm not going to take time to go through all of these questions. I'm sure you'll be pleased to know, but just suffice it to say, an internship is a full-time job, and you will be suitable for the typical rights and benefits that other full-time workers are able to benefit from. So you will be paid the national minimum wage or national living wage. You will be entitled to holiday pay, national insurance contributions, and pension auto enrollments where applicable. But it is a 6-month placement. That is the Music Matters programme, and the duration is a 6-month placement. If you are successful and you do receive a Music Matters internship, we will be in touch with you throughout the duration of the programme to support you. All the employers that are taking part have demonstrated to us that they are committed to your training and developing and mentoring. But we, as the Music Matters team, as well as the team from Belfast City Council, we want to make sure that that is happening. So we will be in touch with you as well. You'll receive a full-time contract from the employer, but we will be in touch with you at different intervals throughout those 6 months. So typically around the halfway mark, and again at the conclusion of the programme, to check in with you to make sure that everything is going well and to make sure that you are progressing and developing within the programme. So we are going to be part of that support. So Hopefully you have had time and the opportunity to view the great opportunities that we have. You can find out more information about the opportunities as well as about the employers themselves by clicking on the logo. That will take you to find out more information about the employers. And whenever you are ready to apply, you simply click the Apply Now button. And that will take you to apply through the Workplus site. So that is where you might have seen Workplus before if you've started this application process. Just to say, Workplus traditionally did recruit. We've been involved with apprenticeship recruitment campaigns, and this software is now being developed to host other campaigns like an internship. So if there are certain things that maybe you see relate to apprenticeships, or maybe certain things that you think don't quite fit with your application, we would really, really appreciate it if you could feed that back to us. This is a pilot program. It's the first one that Belfast City Council has run with us. We're really excited to be able to adapt our software to host these applications. So we would just ask that if there is any glitches or anything goes wrong at your end, that you contact us as soon as possible through the chat function, and we will work with you and work with our developers to make sure that they are smoothed out. And if there's anything at your end, as I say, you see that mentions apprenticeships or anything that doesn't quite make sense, please, we would really appreciate it if you would feed that back to us. I am going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to invite Lucy to come and take us through a little bit more in-depth information about the application process. Thanks, Lucy.
Great. Thanks so much, Ruth. It's really great to be with you all this afternoon. So thank you so much for coming along to this webinar to find out more about how you can make your application the best it can be to give you the best chance to hear from employers and get invited to an interview. So, as Ruth mentioned, you'll have navigated through our website, the Music Matters Internship Programme, and then you'll have explored the different job opportunities for internships that are available with the 5 different employers that are part of this coordinated programme. So hopefully you've already been on the site and you've been able to view the opportunities, find out more information about them, and also see more detail about the companies. As Ruth mentioned, how you can just click on the logo to find out more about what the companies do. And then once you're in a position to apply to the different internships that you want to apply to, you can click the Apply Now button. That'll take you through to the Workplus website to make your application, and you start by entering your email address. So maybe some of you have already got to this stage already, but if you haven't, hopefully this gives you an idea about what is all included in your application. So let's go in more detail to the application process on Workplus. So you've entered your email address, you'll have created a PIN code as well through your email, and then you will see that at the first page you have a bit of a heads up about what's included in the application. So this includes a profile section, and it includes an application to the internship opportunities. And then there's a third part, which is an aptitude test. However, you may have already realized that that is not part of this internship campaign. So don't worry about that third part. It's not relevant for the internship programs. You'll see that there's a list there of 5 different questions, and one of those questions, the fourth question, has 5 questions within it. So it gives you an idea of what you need to include in your application, what answers you need to think about and how you might write them, as well as maybe asking other people for help. So you have a bit of a heads up before you begin as to what's included in your application. But let's look at the profile now in more detail. So this is the first section of your application. You'll first be prompted to put in your contact details, and then you will be prompted to enter your qualifications. The qualification section is just entering all the up-to-date qualifications or subjects that you took at GCSE or A level, or any equivalent qualifications that you have, as well as maybe any third level degree qualifications that you have. You'll see that there's a 1, 2, 3 step process here to help you navigate this best. The qualifications, they can be quite specific in the way that you need to enter them. So if you're having difficulties finding a qualification, just try and reorder your words. But you can always chat to myself or Andrew through the chat function just by clicking the yellow box in the bottom left-hand corner. Would really encourage you to enter all the qualifications that you have, as employers may be shortlisting based on your qualifications, so based on the grades that you have or the subjects that you've taken. Here's a bit of an example about how the qualifications can be found. So, for example, if you've got maths GCSE, you probably won't find the right qualification if you type in maths. Just type in again mathematics GCSE and you'll find the correct exam board and level that'll come up for you to select, as well as then entering your grade, school, or location that you took it and the date that you were awarded the qualification. You can do that for every qualification that you have, and then once you've completed it, you can click the List Complete button. This then takes you through to the next section, which is employment and work experience. So here you can enter in any previous jobs that you've had. You get the opportunity to talk about those roles. For example, the name of the employer, when you began your employment, your duties and responsibilities. And there you can touch on your skills and your strengths, as well as what you might want an employer to know about you, and what you could bring to their future job as an intern. So do think carefully about how you communicate your skills in those sections. You can also enter any work experience or shadowing that you've done. That's another great opportunity to show an employer about the skills that you have and the qualities that would make you a good fit for their internship. Once you've completed that, you'll be on to the next section, which is the 5 long answer questions. These are trying to get to the soul of who you are as a person. So it's not just about entering your qualifications, but it's about having the opportunity to tell employers who you are and how you will bring lots to their team if you are successful in the internship. So again, think carefully about how you can make the most of the word count here, how you can communicate to the employers reading your application that you would be a great team player, that you have good problem solving skills, that you've good communication skills. Again, getting at the heart of the skills when you talk about different examples. Here is a good section to talk about any hobbies or interests that you have, as well as any extracurricular activities you might do. No doubt you have lots of involvement in different music achievements or music groups. Do talk about those and the skills that you have through your experiences in these questions. There's also a few shorter questions just to help employers get a sense of right to work and being able to drive, if that's helpful for them. And then there's monitoring questions too. Once you've completed those and completed the declaration, you'll be taken to your Workplus dashboard, and this just helps you to navigate the different parts of your application. We've completed the first part now, we've completed the profile, but we haven't yet made our application, okay? So you're not done yet, you're not finished, you need to keep going. And so you need to press the blue button, Apply to Opportunity, on your dashboard, which will take you through to apply to the specific internship roles. And when you click the blue button, you'll be asked to select the pathway, and there's only one option, so you can't go wrong here. And then once you've selected that, you'll be asked to rank the opportunity, so rank the different internships. This is where as well you can delete an employer if you're not prepared to work there or to be interviewed for that role. There is a variety of internships available, and so they won't suit everybody. So just delete the employers that you don't want to apply to, or if you do want to apply to more than one, rank them according to your preference. So that's what the ranking means of the opportunity. So please only apply to and include employers that you're prepared to work for, okay? Then you'll be prompted to ask or answer another longer answer question. So this is where you get to explain why you want to start this type of job. This is for the employer to see, so it's really important that you're thinking carefully about how they would want to invite you for interview. So you might want to refer back to the job description or the person specification that they outlined in the internship opportunity that you saw. Think about how you're really answering their need for somebody, for an intern, and how you'd be a great fit to their workplace. This is really another opportunity for you to share about who you are as a person and how you can bring your skills to the particular internship role. Once you've completed that part, then you have completed your application. So then you get a thank you message and you can click visit dashboard to see that you've now got one complete application and it's listed at the bottom of your dashboard. You can edit this at any stage before the deadline if you want to. Any edits made after the deadline won't be sent to the employers. You can also download your application that you've made if you want to print off maybe a hard copy and ask somebody to read it for you, or even just email it across to somebody to get them to read over, because I know that I can be blind to mistakes that I make, but somebody else can help me to pick out any mistakes or spelling errors or typos that I might have, and it can be good to get another person's eyes or ideas through it. So do download your application and send it off to somebody to check it. You can also delete the application. So if you decide that the internship isn't right for you, just delete it at any stage. And that means that employers aren't spending time reading your application if you've decided that you no longer want the opportunity. You'll also see that there's a little bit of information if you have a disability or a long-term health condition, and you can avail of that through those contact details if that applies to you. But essentially, this is the end of your application process. You've completed it. And remember, I mentioned about the suitability assessment that you may have seen, but it's not relevant for this particular internship campaign. So there's no need to complete it. And that is why this message appears. That is the process. And just to double check that you have applied, check your email, where you should get an automated email to say that you've completed your application, just to double check that it's definitely gone through. Ruth has mentioned the different dates as part of the process, so please do check through those to make sure that you know exactly when you might hear from employers. But that is all from me. Back to Ruth at this stage. Thanks, Ruth.
Thanks so much, Lissy. Sorry, my screen has gone funny, so I can't actually share my video, but hopefully you can hear me okay, Lissy?
Yes, yes, can hear
Yes,
you. No
perfect, perfect. Yes, the Q&A session, there's a Q&A button that you should be able to see. So if any of you have any questions, please, before we finish up, if you pop them in the chat, Andrew or Lucy, if you maybe keep an eye on that to see if any of them, if any of those questions appear, and perhaps you can help to answer those questions. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat now, and we will do our best to answer those questions for you. Just a reminder that the Music Matters application page, you can access your application. Andrea has actually very kindly added a button onto that page that says access your application. So if any of you have started your application and you're maybe struggling to find where to edit that or change that, then please feel free to go back to the Music Matters website page, and you will be able to log in and find your application there. Lucy or Andrew, is there any questions appearing on the screen?
No questions. No
No
questions.
questions. Oh, well, that's good. Must have all done a great job then. Brilliant. Well, hopefully, for those that have joined us today, that has been helpful. And thanks so much, Lissy, for going through that application process. So yes, please feel free to go visit the Music Matters website. That should hopefully have all the information you need in terms of questions, or any further information you need in terms of who the employers are. I have had some personal questions asking me about certain employers and maybe working hours. If the job description doesn't have maybe the answers that you're looking for, I unfortunately won't have the answers either. I only have what you have in terms of the job description and person specification. So if there's anything that you particularly need to know in relation to the job, perhaps before you decide if you want to start in an application form, maybe have a look at the employer social media page and reach out to them via their page if you want to check out some things that may help you decide if you want to apply for that opportunity. But apart from that, as I mentioned, if there's anything technical or anything you need to know, please reach out to the Workplus team through the Q&A function, or through your email addresses as well, and we'll certainly answer any questions. So yes, thank you all so much for joining us today. Hopefully that's been helpful, and good luck with the rest of your application.